This is not even a joke. I'm actually so excited, guys. You heard of the Kardashians. You've heard of Ariana Grande, Brad Pitt. They ain't got nothing on Dana, our mascot. It's her first time in today. Super excited to meet her. She's a hawksbill sea turtle, and she's got sick moves, as you can see. So if you see her out and about the crowd, get involved with her, have a bit of a dance, get your selfies, take your photos, because she's awesome.
It's great. Catch her also at the Market Street outside. Amazing coffee shops and an amazing atmosphere for your village here at the swimming FINA. اليوم معانا تعويذة البطولة دانا اللي بتعلمكم وايد حركات خطيرة جميلة. هذه السلحفاة اللي أكثر من رائعة اللي تذكرنا بالاستدامة استدامة أبو ظبي الرائعة. I think we should get a selfie with this celebrity before she disappears.
I think we should before she goes. You never know, this may be the one and only time we meet Nana.
1, 2, 3, cheese, Nana. Okay, we have
Beautiful.
it.
So do that, do it through the app, get it up on the big screens and make sure you hashtag
Hello and welcome to another day of international swimming here in Abu Dhabi. We're moving into the second half of the 6-day 15th FINA World 25 metre Championships. It's day 4 and a beautiful day it is, with heats this morning leading into a monster 8 final program tonight. The venue is the Etihad Arena in downtown Abu Dhabi. It's a state-of-the-art complex, just ideal for these championships, and they have been outstanding so far, with 13 countries sharing 21 gold medals. We've had championship records and we've had 2 world records, and almost certainly there'll be more records of various shapes and sizes over the next 3 days of competition. So sit back and enjoy the action. Bobby Hurley, a very good morning and welcome along to you.
Thanks, Mike, and good morning to everybody listening and watching at home. It's going to be an action-packed program here on the 4th morning of heats at the World Championships. We've got a lot of 50-metre action with the men's 4x50 metres freestyle relay, followed by the women's 50 back, the men's 50 butterfly, and finishing with the longest relay on the program, the men's 4x200 metres freestyle relay.
Yes, heats, of course, a necessity and exciting as well, but to get us into the really big stages, and that of course is the semi-finals and finals in the evening session. And what an evening we've got ahead of us, with 8 finals and also 3 semi-finals, so an action-packed evening ahead of us. Terrific night last night. Every night's been fantastic. What have you enjoyed most?
Well, just when we think it's about to die down a little bit, or we have an easy night in the pool, last night had plenty of fireworks, with the Netherlands team, I think, was the highlight of the night, winning the mixed 4x50 metres medley relay with an unusual combination of leading off with a female up against the males, and an exciting finish with Tom de Boer storming home to claim gold.
And it was another win for Siobhan Jorge, and we're going to see her in action again this morning. We'll have the heats, as you mentioned, of the 400 metres freestyle for women, and she'll be in heat number 4 alongside Simona Quattarella, who was the bronze medalist last night, the 800. We are being introduced to the technical officials here, and they've all made it through the doors with the COVID regulations in force, causing a few headaches here and there for competitors and officials and even some media types. But we're all here and we're about to get this program underway. I mentioned the women's 400 metres freestyle, the women's 50 back. We've got Kira Toussaint in the final heat there. And also White, who won the 200 metres last night. So a really good morning ahead of us. The women's 100 metres breaststroke, Alia Atkinson has won the last 3. She was actually the silver medalist in 2012, and then she won in 14, 16 and 18, and she'll be in the final heat this morning.
Yeah, plenty of world champions and world record holders back in the pool again, and it's really exciting to see now, after already 3 fully completed days of competition, just those superstars backing up again and again to step up on the blocks and race. People like Siobhan Jorge, who will be prevalent in the women's 400 free.
We're going to start with the heats of the 4x50 freestyle relay for men, and we will see the world record holding United States team in action. Well, not the exact team, but the country, of course. And they are in lane 1, so that is the start list for the first of our heats this morning. The USA, Slovakia won't be starting, I think we'll find. Turkey, Italy, Poland, Switzerland and China should be the way they go. So I'm led to believe the United States will be starting out there in lane 1 with clear water on either side. Just moments away from this session starting, day 4. So the second half of the World Championships are about to start here at the Etihad Arena with the swimmers coming out for the first of the events. Later on, the women's 50 back, the men's 50 fly, the women's 400 free, the women's 100 breast, and that 4x200 metre freestyle relay.
Yes, 6 teams in this first heat, with the defending champ United States of America out in lane 1. They've got Apple, Tap, Kieran Smith and Tom Shields competing this morning. And the Italian team starting out of lane 4, Poland in 5.
So the 4x50, it's up and back for each of the swimmers here. The United States, the big favourites in lane number 1, led off by Zach Apple.
Yeah, they are the defending champs, but it's a much different team to what we saw 3 years ago in China for the United States. So Zach Apple in the water leading them off. He hasn't had a great week so far, and it looks like the Italians and the Polish team that are going to be first and second at the change.
Duplano getting the Italians away nicely. He's handed over to Moresi. Tap in the water now for the United States. And down there in lane number 7, it's Wang of China.
Yeah, we've got the big 6'7" Moresi leading it out for the Italians now in the black cap there. They've got a half body length lead. The United States Tap having a good second leg swim.
So Italy leaders at the halfway mark. Frigo is the third leg swimmer. Smith, Kieran Smith, the United States. Pan of China.
Yeah, Smith more of a 200 and 400 metre swimmer. I'm sure he's going to have fun competing in the splash and dash relay this morning. He's taken a little bit of ground off the Italians, is Smith.
It's a good race here. Lane 1, the United States, and it's the Italians who continue to lead into the last lap, and it's Zaziri who's going to bring them home. Shields for the USA.
Yeah, Shields at the top. Really good underwater kicker there and a very experienced relay swimmer. So, looks like Italy ahead of the US so far.
In lane 4, it is Italy in this first heat. Shields won't be able to get there to take the heat win. It's Italy in front, the United States second, and China it is third ahead of Poland, Switzerland and Turkey.
Yeah, comfortable win for the Italian men's team in heat number 1. There's just 2 heats of this relay this morning. So generally speaking, the top 4 teams from each heat should move through to the final. The Italian team there in the black cap, they got off to a good start with Leonardo Duplano, who will be in the 50 freestyle final individually tonight. And so much depth and speed in their men's team now. They've medalled in most of the relays or all of the men's relays so far at these championships. The Italian men's team continues to improve with new names and new superstars making a name for themselves on the world level. Still waiting for results.
The first of the heats. Just to check that everything was okay from the judges. Of course, the second and last heat before we see these women involved, the women's 50 metres backstroke. We have plenty of heats there. 7, in fact, and the girls are waiting for their opportunity. Women's 50 metres back. So this is quite a delay with the first event. And after all that checking, Poland have been disqualified, so Italy, the USA and China remain 1, 2 and 3. Now, Great Britain not starting in Heat 2. The Netherlands and the Russian Swimming Federation. It would seem to be a race between that pair in 4 and 5. So in 4, it's the Netherlands, led off here by Pienberg, and Morozov is starting for the Russian Swimming Federation.
Yeah, Morozov leading off that team from lane number 5. He gets to the 25-metre wall first. We've also got Hwang Sun-woo leading off for Korea, the 200-metre freestyle champion, up there in lane 1.
Not to be discounted. Also, Lithuania look okay on paper as well, and they're going nicely. The Russian Swimming Federation, Belgium and Netherlands. And Markov it is in the water in lane 5.
Yeah, Markov in, changing over from Morozov, who led off in 21.3, so that's probably his best swim of the competition so far. But here comes Kenzo Simmons from the Netherlands to challenge at the halfway.
Changing over to Verhoeven, little between the Netherlands and the Russian Swimming Federation, who have Grinov in the water.
Yeah, so much depth on both of these two teams. A few of these swimmers will probably get substituted out to bring in some big-name superstars for this relay final, but it's Grinov who extends that lead out to a body length.
He's giving Shegelov a handy break there in lane number 5. The Netherlands with Tom de Boer, who's been in excellent form swimming the anchor leg.
Yeah, he was really good last night to win that mixed medley relay, and it looks like de Boer's going to get the job done this morning as well.
Russian Swimming Federation in front, the Netherlands in second. In lane number 7, Belgium in third, followed then by Lithuania, but no doubt about the winners here in lane 5. The Russian Swimming Federation over the Netherlands and Belgium, Lithuania finishing 4th.
There's the Russian Swimming Federation taking out heat number 2. Shigalev on camera was the silver medalist in the 200-metre freestyle, so dropping down in distance for this sprint relay. And they're pretty well rounded across all 4 swimmers there. Morozov was disappointing yesterday in his individual race, but he had a better lead off there. Tom de Boer just getting on that lane rope next to the Russian Swimming Federation across that last 25 metres.
So the result is through here. The Russian Swimming Federation from the Netherlands, the margin just under a second, Belgium and Lithuania, followed by Korea. We move along to our next event, the women's 50 metres backstroke. Now, there are the teams going through to the final of the relay, Italy and Russia. The Russian Swimming Federation in 4 and 5. Korea missing out.
Yeah, all the big name teams comfortably qualifying for that final, which will be very exciting tonight.
It's the 50 metres backstroke heats. Kira Toussaint, we will see her in action. She is swimming in heat 7, the last of them, her world record standing at 25.6. Three swimmers listed to start. In fact, they're down there on the blocks as well in this first heat. From Kosovo, Tajikistan and the Cayman Islands. Idriza it is, the youngster. She's only 14 years of age in lane 3. Ikramova in 4, and then Hugh, the veteran of the field at 22. She's out in front in lane number 5.
Yeah, that's Hugh from the Cayman Islands, who was very fast reacting to the sound of the starter's gun. 0.58 seconds was all it took for her to get her feet off the wall. She got away to a big lead. There she is in the blue cap coming down to the finish.
It's nice heat swim there for Lauren Hugh, and it's Idrija in second place, and then it is going to be Ikramova finishing her race here at the World Championships and getting a time on the board to take home and work on that, but getting wonderful experience here at the Etihad Stadium. So Hugh's time 29.58.
There's Hugh in the blue cap, getting off much quicker than her competitors from that start. coming into the 25. She opened up a big lead, strong on those underwater kicks, which is so important in backstroke, especially the short course version of this stroke. Keeps a big, strong kick into the finish, lunging at the wall. Perfect technique.
Let's check on the result here then. Again, they're checking the vision. So we've had one heat, we've still got 6 to go, and some of the swimmers are waiting their opportunity in the call room.
That's where all the nerves happen, in that call room, which is slightly underneath the scoreboard here. Facing off with your competitors, side by side with the people that you're about to race. Thinking about your race plan, how you're actually going to swim the event, the number of kicks you take, the number of strokes, all those important things that go towards a perfect performance. And you've got the nerves to deal with as well.
Now the results through there, and all clear. So Hugh taking out heat number 1. There's the list of names. The girls starting in heat 2 here. Sudan and Sierra Leone in the middle lanes there with Mohammed Ahmed and Isha. And starting quickly there in lane number 2, it was Little Luma, Nafal alongside her in 3, Mohammed Ahmed and Isha in the middle lanes.
Yeah, most swimmers in heat 2 without any sea time, so they're going to be scattered across the pool. But down there in 6, it's Martinez Tamayo out with an early lead in that pink cap. Stays underwater longer than most, and she's got a big lead.
So Martinez Tamayo from Panama, our leader here, and looks like she's going to win. The danger up there, De Silva in lane number 1. De Silva swimming a nice race there. Hall it was in 3rd place, followed by Litaluma. So the time here, 31.08. 31.08 for our winner, Lena.
Yeah, a little bit slower than what we saw previously in heat 1, but it's a good swim for the 18-year-old from Panama. Those pink caps really stand out on TV. Easier to spot those swimmers. There she is on the right of screen with the light blue suit. Got away to the best of starts, and she was never challenged by her competitors in that heat.
So the winning time, as I mentioned, 31.08. A range of times there with the swimmers coming into a range of ages and a range of experience. Martinez Tamayo, our winner of heat 2 from Cavern de Silva. So Saravanatni is the Sri Lankan swimmer there in lane number 4. Danelli of Mozambique in lane 5. In lane number 4, Senavaratni has an entry time of 32.19. Quickly away, though, in lane number 6, it's Hazel from St. Lucia.
Yeah, pretty even across the start there, but it is Hazel with that blue cap that's out in front, but looks like she gets outturned by Danelli in 5, so not much separating them, just 10 metres to go now.
Senavaratni in 4 and Danelli in lane number 5. It is Saravanatni who gets away in front there. The really good swim from Maya from Uganda. She got 2nd, and Danelli it was in 3rd placing. So close racing as the times start to drop in heat 3.
Yeah, she's happy with that one. Senavaratni the 18-year-old, taking out heat number 3. She's in the middle of the pool there. Didn't get away to the most powerful of starts. She turned about 3rd or 4th at the 25-meter mark before coming through on that second lap. Again with the pink cap and the pink nose clip. Color coordinating her performance this morning, and she comes into the finish, lunges at the wall, gets on with a full stroke at that touch, which is so important in these 50-meter races.
The result of heat number 3 with a sub-31 second swim for Saravanatni of Sri Lanka. Ghana represented in lane number 4 here with Nubia Ajay. She's gone around 30.5 seconds in the past. Ajay there from lane number 4. She's away well, also swimming nicely in lane number 7. It is Shuralak of Chile.
Yeah, Shuralak with the early lead. There she is in the blue suit, going really deep off that turn to work those underwater kicks. She's going to be challenged now. It looks like Palestrini in 6 as well.
Ferguson in lane 3, not far back, but it is the swimmer from Chile in lane number 7 who wins by around 3/4 of a body length in the end. And second place was taken by Ferguson, and then Ajay in 3rd. Winning time here in heat number 4, 29:16.
Fastest time of the morning swum so far from the swimmer representing Chile. She was quick over the first 25 metres, which is important in a 50-metre race, but the second 25 is probably more important into the finish. She was able to extend that lead, had a really good turn, and a perfect touch into the finish.
She eagerly looks up at the board to find out what time she swam. It was 29:16 for the winner, 29:76 for second. That was the last of the unseeded heats, so now we have some of the big names coming out to play. Kylie Maas of Canada in lane number 4. Jensen of Denmark in 5, and Pilhage of Austria in lane number 6. Maas, the silver medalist in the 100 and the 200. So it's Maas there in lane number 4, Jensen in 5, Pilhage another to watch for in 6.
Yeah, it looks like Pilhage had the best of starts there with that high head position in the black cap. Maas is coming through now. We just see her on so many international podiums. She's such a good racer, and it looks like Maas is coming through.
The silver medalist in both of the longer backstroke events, and she's got a fight on her hand. Kabova alongside her in lane number 3, and she just edges out Kabova, so Maas from Kabova, and then it was Pilhage in 3rd. The first of the seeded heats, and Kylie Maas has swum a time of 26.3.
Yeah, knew exactly what to do, what was required to win that first seeded heat. Look at that really high position from the swimmer in the red suit there off the start. I think that was Jensen from Denmark. But Maas, black cap, black suit in the middle there. Didn't have the most powerful underwater, but when they come up and stroking, she's so much faster than everybody else. That's where her strength lies, and Kabova came at her. It's just 0.1 in it there at the finish, but Maas got to the wall first.
Let's check on that result. Kylie Maas by 0.14 of a second in the end over Kabova. The second last of the heats, heat 6. Maggie McNeil of Canada in 4, and also in lane number 8, the 200 winner, Ryan White.
Looks like White isn't starting in this one, so the American not here, but Maggie McNeil and the 100 backstroke champion Louise Hansen from Sweden in the yellow cap. But McNeil, more of a butterfly swimmer, but she's easily the fastest underwater. Watch her go there, the black cap of McNeil.
And also there, Hansen in the yellow cap, but McNeil comes out of the water in front. And big finish here from Louise Hansen, also in lane number 3, Scalia, but McNeil does enough. So Canada wins heat number 6 after winning heat 5 as well. McNeil this time over Hansen and Scalia.
Very fast time this morning in the heats, 25.9. There they are off with the backstroke start, but McNeil, we saw it at the Olympic Games in the 100 butterfly where she won gold. She's untouchable underwater. Louise Hansen next to her. She's the 100 backstroke champion, but couldn't get close to McNeil this morning. She's only short, but when it comes to underwater kicking, there's no woman faster than Maggie McNeil.
So the Canadians enjoying back-to-back success here in the heats with one heat remaining. McNeil winning 25.98, Hansen 26.27. So the final heat featuring Kira Toussaint of the Netherlands in lane number 4. She was 8th in Gwangju 2 years ago. Barrett is another to watch for in 6. Barrett, the bronze medalist in that Gwangju event. So we're underway in the last of them. Toussaint, Petrie and Barrett in 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah, Toussaint with the best of the starts. She's the world record holder in this event, and she led off the mixed relay team last night to gold as well. So already a world champion. Goes on her side underwater and comes up just slightly ahead.
Toussaint in lane number 3, Devord. She's swimming an excellent race, and alongside her was Rossvale, but Toussaint it was ahead of Devord. And in fact, a tie for second there. Tie for second, Devord and also Petrie. Winning time here in the last of them, 26.3.
Yeah, slower than what we saw from McNeil, but still enough to win the heat for Kira Toussaint. Top 16 swimmers will make it through the semi-finals. There's that unorthodox breakout where she actually strokes on top of her body to just gain a little bit more power and speed into that first stroke. There was a line of 4 at the finish, all touching at around about 26.3 seconds. And they should all comfortably move through to the semi-finals.
Toussaint's time 26.3 by 9/100ths of a second over the girls from the Netherlands and France, tying for second. Semi-finals are coming up this evening. McNeil is the fastest qualifier from Hansen, Maas, Toussaint. They're the top 4. Scalia with 26.5. As we look down to the last of them, Zavina it is, in position 16, 27.26. Now, who misses out? Avramova, position 17, 27.35.
Yeah, all of the big names moving through to the semi-finals in this one. Probably the surprise was Ryan White of the United States not lining up for the heats. She doesn't have anything else on this morning. She might feature in some relays later on in the week, but she's already raced the 100 and 200 meters backstroke, which are her preferred distances. But it was good to see McNeil back in the water. She didn't swim the women's 50 fly a few days ago, and she's fastest qualifier in the 50 backstroke.
Moving along to the men's 50 metres butterfly now. Nicolas Santos setting that world record in China in 2018. Three competitors to start the heats. And the competitors from St. Vincent and Grenadines, Uzbekistan, and also Palestine. That's Leonard Usmanov and Habas.
Yeah, Usmanov with the big dive there. None of these swimmers in the first 2 heats, in fact, have entry time, so expect the unexpected. Here's Usmanov, well clear in the first heat.
And you get the feeling that if he did have an entry time, he wouldn't have been in the first heat, because he was dominant there, Usmanov. Leonard in second, and Hubbas there in third, placing 23:81 is a good time posted in the first heat.
Yeah, very quick out of heat number 1 for the 17-year-old. Getting some valuable race experience at the world level. And 23.8, that'd be competitive. That would have put him well back in one of the further heats. And I think it's going to require something around 22.8 seconds to make the semi-finals. So he's getting closer and closer, is the teenager from Uzbekistan.
And that time, 23:81, 26.9 and 29:77 for second and third. Heat 2. Uganda and Tajikistan have swimmers in the middle lanes, 4 and 5. And some away well, some away a little slowly. That's Zengosi of Uganda in 4 and Madkamov of Tajikistan in 5.
Yeah, big start from the swimmer from the Cayman Islands as well in 7. That's Liam Henry. We often see the Cayman swimmers so powerful in these 50-metre races, and it's 7 and 4 as well.
It's going to be taken out here by Zengosi. It was a good swim by Henry. He took second. And then Madkamov of Tajikistan in third, placing, followed by Abbas. So winning time here, 24:15, slower than the first heat.
Yeah, only by a touch, but it's a good swim for the 19-year-old Sengonzi, diving in there, top of the yellow lanes. You can see how important it is to get off the blocks fast and into those powerful underwater butterfly kicks. Stroking there, took a couple of breaths in that 50-metre race. We'll see some of the competitors in the later heats not take a breath at all, and they're kicking underwater. They've got to time that finish on a full stroke. Without breathing, those last 3 strokes is preferred.
So Zengosi, the heat winner here, heat 2 from Henry. And away they go in this third heat. Wise is the swimmer from Sierra Leone in 4, then Taloku in lane 5.
Yeah, more evenly matched through heat number 3 now. It looks like Taloku in 5. There he is in the blue cap, working those butterfly kicks under the water, and he's got a huge lead after 25.
And again, he looks like he should be in a later heat because he's going to post a good time here. He wins and stops the clock there, Taloku. We've got Wise finishing 4th. Now, second place was up there in lane number 2 by the swimmer from Rwanda, and that is Nambizi.
Yeah, even start there. All these swimmers now with much closer entry time, so we see closer racing, but it was Taloku getting away to win that heat pretty convincingly. And that time was 3 seconds quicker than his entry, so he's pretty happy with that one.
26:33 the winning time in heat 3, 27:79, so around a second and a half separating first and second. Moving along to the 4th heat now, and Usman Touré of Mali has lane 4 here, Felix of Grenada in lane number 5. And quickly off the blocks there in lane number 5, Felix getting a good start in this 4th heat.
Yeah, these middle lanes now with entry times of 26 seconds. There's Felix in the pink cap. Doesn't he look big and strong through these butterfly strokes? quick turns, working those underwater kicks, but he's faster on top of the water is Felix.
In front, in lane number 3, in second place, Fowler. And down there in lane number 8 as well, it is Al Khalifi. And they finish pretty much in that order, though. Alisi gets up just to edge out Al Khalifi for third. So the heat taken out by Delron Felix in that time of 25.67.
Yeah, they're getting faster and faster through these heats. There's Felix in the pink on the right side. Don't those pink caps look nice in the water? He was very quick over that first 25 metres. Cleared out the field in that first 10 seconds of the race. They challenged him on the second lap, but he did enough to win heat number 4.
Heat 4 of 10. 25.67 for the winner and 25.95 for second. And there we have Afghari in 4 here. Countries from around the globe represented. Tanzania in 1, Bolivia, Saudi Arabia, Jamaica. We've got Morocco, Syria, Benin, just to name a few. Afghari is in lane number 4 here. Odlum Smith is in lane number 5, and it's the yellow lane showing out.
Yeah, they're the two that clear out the field in the middle of the pool. Lanes 4 and 5. Looks like Afghari had the better of the turns there. He's in the blue cap, stroking away to the finish.
Afghari it is, who is going to win in a time here, 23.67. So once again, the times come down to the low 20s. 23.67 for the winner, 24.04 for Odlum Smith in lane number 5.
Yeah, he takes that one, Afghari. Diving in there, top of the yellow lanes in the blue cap. He had a few breaths in that 50-metre butterfly. And he breathed on the last stroke there. He was short on that finish, but did enough to win that heat nonetheless. And it's quicker than his entry time.
Yes, smart times being posted here. 1 sub 24. And that belonged to Murshid Afghari. We're up to heat number 6 here. Interested to see what Leandro Edwards of Canada will do in lane number 1. He's been absolutely sensational. He's in the 50 butterfly here. Hocken, Moon, Grassy. Edwards away pretty well. He's been sensational at the championships.
Oh, he's had a breakout world champs. Has Leandro Edwards up there second from the top. He's one of the fastest qualifiers for the 50 freestyle final, which will happen tonight. So he's still racing in the heats this morning. But down there in lane number 6 as well, that's Sun from China who's going to push through, and it's pretty tight at the finish.
Yes, in the end, it was Leandro Edwards only just in front of Sun. Now, the margin was, what, 22.52 and 22.64, so 12/100ths of a second separating the top two there. And the Croatian Miljanik was in third in lane 9. Good racing.
Yeah, really good swim from Sun, the Chinese swimmer, in 6 as well. They were about a body length ahead of everyone, but Leandro Edwards, just 19 years of age, has really asserted himself in the sprint events here in Abu Dhabi. When you're a teenager and you can go 20 seconds for freestyle and 22 for butterfly, it's mighty impressive.
So the first times we've seen sub 23 here. Edging our way towards the seeded heats. Heat 7 of 10. Hinks of Luxembourg. Da Silva of Portugal. 4 and 5. Interested to see Ponti with Switzerland in lane 6. Another big name here at the championships. well.
A lot of noise in the building there. I think mostly for the swimmer representing Egypt in lane 8. A lot of crowd noise. The starter actually did say to stand down before lane 7 jumped in there. That's Miratovic. So he will be allowed to compete because the starter already told the swimmers to stand down.
Watching with interest the performance here of Ponti in lane 6, Hex and Sousa da Silva in 4 and 5.
Yeah, Ponti, the Swiss swimmer, Olympic medalist in the 100 fly in Tokyo. He's breathing every stroke. He's more suited to the 100 and 200 metre distances, but let's see what he can do over 50.
Well, he's doing it pretty nicely at the moment, Ponti, and he's going to take out this heat. Ponti it is from Switzerland. Samaya got up for second, and then Sousa da Silva. So the time 22:55, and that is the same time set in the previous heat by Liendo Edwards.
Swim off territory, maybe.
Maybe.
Still 3 heats to go, still 30 swimmers to come, but we already have, what's that, 4 now that have gone under 23 seconds. So Ponti, 200 metre silver medalist from these championships, breathed every stroke, which is not what you normally see in the sprint events, but enough to take out heat 7.
22:55 for Ponti, 22:76 for second. Now the first of the seeded heats here, heats 8, 9 and 10, and we've got Tom Shields, we've got Costin, we've got Chad Leclos and Michael Andrew. Andrew in lane number 2, some of the big names taking part here. Saxey in lane 7. Shields, Costin and Leclos, 4, 5 and 6.
Yeah, some big name swimmers in the water now. Costin got the best of the starts. Leclos, we always see him compete well in the butterfly short course races, but it's Costin leading at the 25 metre wall. Let's see what Shields can do off the turn.
And in lane number 3, it's Costagny. Costagny's in front of them all. Costagny's going to take this out, and he does so, the Dutchman, in a time of 22.4. So Shields second, Costin third, Leclos in 4th placing with a 23.02.
Yeah, Leclos a little bit off there in the sprint butterfly event this morning. He's not having his best world championships and just lacking a bit of top-end speed, but Costagny is not. The Dutch sprinters, the whole Dutch team performing out of their skin here in Abu Dhabi, and he takes that one convincingly, does Niels Costagny. 22.4, fastest time of the morning so far.
Yes, 22.4, 22.88. As I mentioned, Leclos 23.02, so it's going to be interesting to see the wash-up after 2 more heats as to who goes through. Heat 9, Nicholas Santos is the man to watch for in lane number 4, Ben Proud.
No Proud here.
No, Proud not starting. So away they go. It was Santos in lane number 4.
Yeah, the world record holder's in the water for his first individual race of the World Champs, but he's well beat off the start, which is very unlike Nicholas Santos. So looks like Dylan Carter left of the yellow lanes there is going to take the lead through to the finish.
The swimmer from Trinidad and Tobago. Santos finishing hard, but Carter it is who takes it out this heat number 9. And the winning time here, 22.36. So we've got a new best time posted.
Oh, that was impressive from Dylan Carter. He's medalled in this event at the World Champs 3 years ago in China. But to win that heat and to really dominate the world record holder, Santos, in the lane next to him, that's going to make you feel good and give you a bit of confidence before the semi-finals. 22.3, no mucking around this morning for Dylan Carter.
The impressive winner there of heat number 9 from Santos, the world record holder, finishing second, 22.66. And this brings us to the final heat here. Sebastian Szabo of Hungary and Mateo Revolta is in lane number 5 here. Revolta, the winner of the 100. Szabo was 5th in Gwangju. So the two big guns here in 4 and 5, Szabo and Revolta.
Yeah, Szabo actually equaled the world record from Nicolas Santos just a month ago at the European Championships in a 21.75. So he loves the 50 fly. He's been waiting around all week for this one. And it's Szabo just narrowly ahead of Revolta.
Revolta finishing hard. Revolta and Szabo stroke for stroke, and it ends up with Szabo over Revolta, and Pekarski of Belarus finishing 3rd. Winning time here 22.42, so it's not the quickest, but he's going to give it a real shake nonetheless.
Yeah, give it a shake he will, is Sebastian Szabo taking out the last heat. He does get the luxury of watching the times that everybody else has posted this morning before he gets up to swim, and he's done so many 50 butterfly races in the last couple of months. He knows exactly what's required to win the heat and get through to the semis without spending much energy at all and saving that up for the bigger races.
Well, let's check on the result here. And Szabo winning it by 11/100ths of a second. Revolta, Pekarski and Zaitsev also sub-23. So we look forward to the semi-finals here with Dylan Carter, the fastest qualifier here. Kostjany, the second fastest, and then Szabo and Leendo Edwards. Ponti, another big name. Tom Shields makes it through. Costin gets the final spot with 22.91, and that is going to mean that we have, I think Chad Leclos going to miss out. Yep.
Yeah, Leclos gone from that one. He has been lacking a bit of muscle and power in the sprint events since the Olympic Games, so he does have the 100 freestyle coming up tomorrow, which he said he's going to put a little bit more focus towards than he normally does. But more interestingly, the world record, the joint world record holders Szabo and Santos were not overly impressive this morning in the heats. So I think medals are up for grabs. Leclos, Shields not on top of their game, and the new brigade are coming through with swimmers like Dylan Carter, Ponti, just to name a few.
Yes, it's going to be an interesting semi-final phase of the men's 50 metres butterfly. You can catch it all with us in, round about something like 8 hours from now. The women's 400 metres freestyle heats coming your way next, and in 2018 we saw the emergence of Ariane Titmus, who has gone on to great things at the Olympic Games and the World Championships in Gwangju. She's the world record holder. 5 heats here. Ramirez of Honduras in lane number 4. And the Costa Rican swimmer there in lane number 5. And that is Alfaro. So this is the first of 5 heats here. Mitchell, Rock, Teflan, Ramirez, Alfaro, Kuipers, and then we have Savanova and Santos making up the field. So they've completed the first 25 metres of this 400 metres, 16 laps for the girls here.
Yeah, we've already seen many of these swimmers compete at the World Championships through the first 3 days of competition. Of course, on the first day we had the 200 metres freestyle, and on the second day we had the 800 metres freestyle, where we saw Daniela Alfaro do a big personal best time in that one. So Alfaro leads this heat early on at the 75 metre mark. We'll see if she can produce another best time here in the 400 metre distance.
She's a 19-year-old representing Costa Rica, and Ramirez alongside her also a 19-year-old from Honduras, and it's that pair who lead as they go through the 100 in 102.37.
Yeah, both girls in the middle of the pool. They have entry times of 4 minutes 26 and 4 minutes 30. So I think they'll be quicker than that in this heat so far, judging by that first 100 metres.
So the three out in front, Alfaro, Ramirez, and also Kuipers. All of them teenagers here, and they've got quite a break on the rest of the field. 150 gone. The margin between first and second, a tick over a second.
Yeah, you can see how good those turns are from Daniela Alfaro. Every time she pushes off the wall, she goes deep. She does about 4 or 5 butterfly kicks. Here we go, pushes off deep. 1, 2, 3, 4 butterfly kicks. Most of her competitors are only doing 1 or 2. So she's just able to hold her streamline further from the wall, and that speed pushing off the wall before carrying that into her freestyle stroke.
And it looks like she's extending this lead. In fact, it's now out to 2 1/4 seconds. In second place, Kuipers over Ramirez. Katie Rocket is of Albania in fourth from lane number 2, and then it's Savaniva in lane 7, followed by Mitchell of Antigua in 1.
Yeah, the field's starting to spread out a little bit here in heat number 1, but Alfaro's having a great race so far. Kuipers as well seems to have broken away clearly for second now ahead of Ramirez, but we keep getting these really nice camera angles of the turn action of Alfaro, and she's picked up the kick, she's picked up the stroke rate as they move into the last part of this race.
She's now completed 275, and she turns at the top end of the pool, coming back towards the start-finish end, and she has got this race to herself to a fair extent at the moment. It's hard to see in second place the swimmer there in lane number 6, and that is Kuipers catching her from this point. 300 metres have elapsed here. Alfaro it is who leads. She's got a 4-second lead over Kuipers.
Yeah, she split 2 minutes 08 at the halfway point. She's got an entry time of 4:30, but she looks on track to swim under 4 minutes 20 if she can hold up this pace. So that'll be a really good performance for the 19-year-old. She's racing against the clock now. The competitors are falling back. All eyes on Alfaro.
Daniela Alfaro, she'll go up and back to complete this first heat, and her lead is substantial. In second place, it's Kuipers, and then it's Ramirez. And they're a fair way back at the moment, the girls being spread out over the pool. But she turns for the last time now, and this is the 19-year-old, I should say, Daniela Alfaro from Costa Rica, who is swimming a really impressive first heat here of the 400 metres freestyle. A couple of strokes to go. She touches the wall. She stops the clock at 4:18.79. In second place, it's going to be Kuipers, who finishes right now in 6th. And in third place, it's going to be Michelle Ramirez of Honduras, and she records a time 4:31.26.
Yeah, really good performance again from Daniela Alfaro. She gives us that smile. She swam a huge personal best in the 800-metre freestyle as well, and all that hard training's being rewarded for her over the last 12 to 18 months with another big personal best time in this 400-metre freestyle. She takes 12 seconds off her entry time, which is just absolutely fantastic.
Our heat winner here, Daniela Alfaro. Well, the start's always important because you never know, even though it's a 400-metre race, you never know if the margin could boil down to a fraction of a second, and that could be the difference between what happened on the blocks and what didn't happen. Yeah,
definitely. The starts in these longer races, you just want to get away cleanly without expending too much energy, but you don't want to have a bad start, that's for sure. So a lot of focus goes into that first part of the race, but Alfaro, she was great in all facets of that one.
Big margin in the end for Alfaro over Kuipers and Ramirez. Rock was 4th in heat 1. There we have the starters in Heat 2. Lane 6 will be empty. So the girls are underway here in Heat 2 of 5. Valoni it is from San Marino in lane 0, then Kravar from Serbia in lane number 1. You've got Angelova in 3 from Bulgaria, Advic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. The Spanish swimmer is Devaldes in 4, and alongside her from Argentina it's Dini. Down to 7 it's Gat of Malta, and then we've got in lanes 8 and 9 Petrovska and Alkaramova.
Yeah, it looks like up there in lane 1 from Serbia is Kravar, taking this one out quickly. And in heat number 2, the swimmers in the middle of the pool have entry times of around 4:13 and 4:14. So we can expect to see a much faster heat swim here in heat number 2. Kravar's entered in a 4 minutes 18, so she wants to challenge the swimmers in lanes 4 and 5, or even go much quicker than her entry time. She's on pace to do that, splitting at 59.7 at the 100 metre mark.
Lane 2 it is who leads. In fact, lane 1 correction, with the heats. All 10 lanes are available for usage. That includes 0 and 9. So lane 1 for Kravar, the Serb. And she's got a lead of around about 2 lengths at the moment. There's not too much between lanes 4 and 3 and 2. Devaldes, Advic and Angelova.
Yeah, we saw Devaldes, the Spanish swimmer, in 4. I think she won her 800 metre heat a couple of days ago. So these swimmers that do succeed in the 800 metre distance, we can sort of expect them to come through in the second half of the 400 metre race, the second 200 metre part of the 400 metre distance. But at the moment it is Kravar who's taken this one out strongly. We'll see what her halfway split is. 2:02. It's really fast for the 21-year-old. Again, her entry time's 4:18, but if she keeps this pace up, she's going to be well under 4 minutes 10.
Well, could anyone challenge her at this stage? There's still a long way to go in this 400 metre freestyle heat, but she's looking particularly strong from the outset here. Anja Kravar of Serbia in second. In lane number 4, it would be Maria Devaldes, and in third placing, it would be Angelova of Bulgaria, who's not too far away from Devaldes as they turn, but our race leader is already on her way back up the pool.
Yeah, she doesn't look like she's slowing down, does Anja Kravar. She's still out-splitting everybody else in the field by at least half a second, so she's increasing that lead. Her 50 metre split times are all at around 31.1, so very, very consistent swimming, and she's able to hold that pace quite strongly through the third 100. So she turns in 3:04.4, so that was a 1:02 100 metre split. She should be on track for something around 4:06.
The lead almost 4.5 seconds now for Kravar. In second place, Devaldes, and then you've got also Angelova. They're trying to close that gap in some way, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that because she's looking stronger as the race is going on. So let's have a look at her now. Through the 350, she's got 2 laps of this 25 metre pool to go.
Yeah, just falling off a little bit on that 50 is Kravar. She's just got to try and hold that efficiency and technique through this last turn and last 25 metre swim, but she's going to absolutely smash her entry time and win this heat by a big margin. Let's see what she can do.
On her way back now, the clock ticks over the 4 minute mark, and she won't be too far beyond that. She's got just a stroke to go. She stops it at 4:07.49. An excellent swim there from Anja Kravar. In second place, Angelova, and third, it was Devaldes. They keep coming in here. Dini of Argentina finishing 4th. And then it was Advic of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah, the swimmers just finishing off now for heat number 2. But that was a really courageous swim from Anja Kravar, out in 2 minutes 02. She didn't muck around from the start, built up an early lead over the field. and just kept extending it through the 200, the 300, the 350 meter mark. And the last 100 was her slowest, but all the work had been done before that point. So she gets rewarded with a time that's, let's have a look at that, 11 seconds quicker than her entry time. So huge margin. And you got to work real hard for that improvement. So she gets rewarded with a fantastic heat swim.
And winning it by over 5 seconds in the end, Cravar over Angelova. De Valdez also around that 4:12 mark. There's the start list for heat number 3 here. Ryu of Korea, Evans of the Bahamas. 4 and 5, Kwar of Singapore, and Lutnan of Finland also listed to start here. There's Wyant of the United States. She has lane 2. So off they go here. Pulford is the swimmer from South Africa. She's in 0. Then Opatril of Austria. Wyant, I mentioned, the United States in 2. Kwar not starting, so off to 4 and 5. Rue of Korea and Evans, Bahamas. Latinen of Finland. From Luxembourg in 7, it's Olivia. And then we have Samja Stojic of Croatia, and Gemez Mortez of Cuba is in 9.
Yeah, in 7 it's going to be Olivia from Luxembourg, leading that one out at the first 50-meter split. The swimmers in the middle of the field, Rue and Joanna Evans from the Bahamas. They got entry times of 4:06 and 4:07 respectively. So around about what we saw in the previous heat from Kavar, but so far everybody's been smashing their entry times, taking chunks of seconds off that. So that improvement is coming quite prevalently for all the competitors here. They're out in under a minute, which is similar to what we saw in the previous heat. But Emma Wyant, the American in lane number 2, she was the silver medalist in the 400 IM at the Olympic Games, I believe. And she was the 4th place getter in the 400 IM here at these championships on night number 1, and also raced in the 800 final last night. So she's entered in a long course time. So she is much more capable of swimming faster than her 4:09 entry time, and expect her to move through the field through the second 200 metres part of this race.
Yeah, she's back in 4th at the moment. Race leader in lane number 5, Evans. As we have a look at Evans doing her underwater work, we've got Olivia in lane number 7. Evans leading from her as they go down to the halfway point here. And Evans it is by 0.45 of a second. Wyant's move up into 3rd behind Olivia.
Yeah, Joanna Evans in 5, leading that one out. She sort of swims like Janet Evans, the great American distance swimmer who swam with a straight arm freestyle stroke. Did you call any Janet Evans races in your career, Mike?
I did. 1987 in Brisbane at the Goodwill Games, I do believe. And I'm not sure how long she kept going for. She retired, I think, shortly after that. Would have swum at the 88 Olympics, I do believe. But yes, what a star Evans was. That straight arm, it was quite revolutionary at the time.
It was, and we don't see that in distance swimming very often at all. It's very prevalent in sprint swimming now, especially with the males, because you've got to be extremely strong to swim with that straight arm stroke. But here's Joanna Evans doing it with just her right arm, comes over the water straight, so she reaches far out in front of her before it enters the water and pulls, whereas her left arm comes out with a bit more of a higher elbow technique, because she rotates to that right side, to breathe. So the left arm stroke's a little bit shorter than the right, so she's swimming asymmetrically, I guess, but it's what works for her, and she's built up a nice lead here in this 3rd heat. We've only got 50 to go. She's turning in 3 minutes 33, so she's going to swim a time quicker than her entry time, and Emma Wyant, the American in the white cap, a couple lanes above her, starting to sprint as well.
Yes, Janet Evans, incidentally, as time flies, just turned 50 not long ago. So what a star she is, and I hope she's doing well. As we have a look at them now, once again, coming down in lane number 5, it is Joanna Evans of the Bahamas, and Evans it is who records a time of 4:03.58. 4:03.58, Wyant 4:06.71 and 4:09.08 for Gamiz Motas, who swam through a few swimmers there at the tail end of the race and was able to claim 3rd placing.
It's a good swim. It's a very good heat time for Joanna Evans. We saw her in the 800-metre freestyle final last night. We'll see if that's good enough to qualify again for another final here at the World Championships. She wasn't leading through the first 100 metres, but she's got really good endurance for that whole part, for the whole race, sorry. She was out in 2:01 and came home in that second split in 2 minutes 02, so really even paced, well swum and very well executed at the finish. Had a good sprint home to come back and touch in a personal best time.
That time 4:03.58 in Heat 3. Wyant 4:06.71 and 4:09.08 for 3rd. Second last of the heats coming up next, and gee, we've got some big names here. Jorge in 4, Quadarella in 5, Madden's there as well, the USA, Ghost from Germany. So this is a seeded heat here, and some big names, as I mentioned. Watch for Ghost of Germany in lane number 3. Also Jorge of Hong Kong, Quadarella. The bronze medalist last night, we saw her in the 800 metres, Madden as well, of the United States. She's swimming out of lane number 7. Expect to see some good performances here. And Jorge, of course, the winner of the 100 and the 200, looking for the treble.
Yeah, she's back in the water, is Siobhan Jorge. She is capable of extending herself out to the 400-metre distance, especially in the short course pool. So she's chasing gold medal number 3, but at the moment it's the long stroke of the swimmer in the red cap. That's Freya Anderson from Great Britain. I was walking around on pool deck a few days ago and walked past Freya, and she's at least eye level with me, and I'm 6'4". She's one of the tallest girls on pool deck, that's for sure. Turning first is Jorge, ahead of Ghost and Freya Anderson. Ghost was a finalist in this race at the Olympic Games, and she was 4th, I think, last night in the 800. So she's very well credentialed, the 19-year-old German, getting more and more finals experience at the international level. But Jorge's starting to take this one over.
As you mentioned, Ghost, she finished 6th at the Tokyo Olympics, and a nice swim last night in the 800 metres. At the moment, it's Jorge who leads through the 150-metre mark. Ghost holding down 2nd, Anderson 3rd. And then there's a group of them separated by not too much.
Yeah, this is the first of 2 seeded heats, and they would have seen that 4:03 posted in the previous heat as well. So they definitely know they need to go quicker than 4:03 this morning. And with a heat to come, you really want to be 1st or 2nd in this heat to increase your chances of making the final. And we've got pretty much a line of 4. Paige Madden from the United States down the bottom of the screen has moved up on Jorge. She wants to make sure that she's in the mix for a finals berth, or even taking out this heat. And Ghost and Anderson are just sitting off the legs of Jorge, and Quadarella moving through in 5th place now. But Jorge, the gold medalist in the shorter freestyle events, we know she's got the speed to go out fast and lead this out. She has posted some quick 400-metre times this season in the short course pool, so she does have the endurance to hold off as well. I expect her to just control this one like she is, and if any of these swimmers try and make a move to sprint past, she should be able to kick it into gear and hold them off.
She's enjoying a very lucrative World Championships, having taken a $50,000 US bonus for breaking the world record on night one. She's collected $15,000 US for each of her 2 wins as well, and she might be able to put some more money in her purse by the end of it in this 400 metres freestyle. So Jorge it is. Madden in lane number 7 remains her real danger. There's a few of them separated by not too much, but Madden is out there in lane number 7, and she's holding down second at the moment. Jorge it is, who is our race leader, and Jorge is going to lead it through the 350. The margin only 0.6 of a second over Madden.
Yeah, you can see the class of Siobhan Jorge coming through. She's really good in and out of the turns. She's got a superior freestyle swimming stroke. Paige Madden looks much taller than Jorge in the water, swimming longer. This is the last 25 now. Ghost is trying to make a move as well.
Jorge it is in front. Madden still second. Yes, big finish here by Ghost in lane number 3. She might get up for second. Jorge takes it out. Second it is Madden over Ghost, and then Quadrella finishing 4th ahead of Anderson. So Quadrella made up a position or 2 in the last 100 metres. Winning time here, 4:02.57 as far as Siobhan Jorge is concerned.
Yeah, job done this morning for Siobhan Jorge. She saw that 4:03 from the previous heat, knew she just had to be quicker than 4:03 and winning that heat, and she should find herself in the middle of the pool for tonight's final. And some of the other swimmers, it was Madden and Ghost in there for second and third in that 4:03 mark. Quadrella and Anderson with that 4:03 high, so it's starting to jam up around 4:03 with still 10 swimmers to come. So these final spots will be interesting. Jorge doing exactly the minimum amount of effort required to qualify for the 400 free final.
Winning time 4:02.57 for Jorge, 4:03.03 for Madden, so not a huge margin by any means, and a 1/10 of a second back for third. The final heat of the women's 400 metres freestyle with Summer McIntosh of Canada in lane number 4. Kapitchnikova. Now Kapitchnikova was the silver medalist in the 800 metres, and she is in 5. So we're off in the final heat of the 400 metres of freestyle for women. Good start down there in lane number 7, and that is Li Bingji. Li Bingji, of course, the winner of the 800 metres, bronze in Tokyo, and she's setting the early pace.
Yeah, plenty of action in this last 400 metre heat. Li, as you said, in the pink suit, lane number 7, plenty of speed to burn. She was also on the Chinese women's Olympic champion 4x200 freestyle relay, so she can go all the way down to the 200 metres event, and she won the 800 last night, so she recovered well and slept properly. We expect her to be one of the favourites in this 400 metre race, but a swimmer who wasn't in that 800 final is Summer McIntosh from Canada in the middle of the pool in 4. She comes into these World Championships as the fastest in the world, number 1 in the world, with a time of 3 minutes 57. She qualified well in the 800 heats, second behind Lee, and then unexpectedly withdrew from that race to focus on the 400. So that was the reasoning from the Canadian team. She withdrew due to load management concerns. She is only 15, but she had a successful Olympic campaign this year as a 14-year-old, racing in many finals. Didn't get any medals, but valuable race experience nonetheless, and it is leading it right now at the 150 ahead of McIntosh and a whole bunch of them in the middle of the pool.
Yes, she's our race leader here, and you look across to lane number 2. Egarova's not far back, representing the Russian Swimming Federation. Bonnet of France. We've got McIntosh, we've spoken about. Kapitchnikova. Caselli has dropped back a touch in lane 6, and Li Bingji, our race leader, there in 7. So there's little between 7, 4 and 5 as we come down to the halfway.
Yeah, down the halfway point. 159s for the lead group of 3. Lee still looking really strong out there in 7. She's got an entry time of 4:01. I'm pretty sure that's what she swam at the Olympic Games for bronze. Now, the world record does stand to Ariane Titmus of Australia 3 years ago, done in Hangzhou at 3:53.9. Now, with all respect to that world record, it's not that fast, considering Katie Ledecky's never had a real crack at this in the short course meters pool, because Titmus and Ledecky did swim 3:56s and 3:57s long course at the World Championships, and even a swimmer like Li Bingji, who got third in that race at 4:01, that really converts down to about a 3:53 or 3:54 short course. So it also leads me to believe that if Summer McIntosh didn't swim the 800 last night, she's already been 3:57 this year. Does she also think that she can break that world record?
Well, we'll find out when it comes to the final this evening, because it is shaping as a Butte race. Li Bingji continues to lead here. And second, as they turn to come home, it's McIntosh in lane number 4. Now, McIntosh's edge just clear of Kopychnikova, but they're still about 3/4 of a body length behind Li Bingji at the 350. China in front from Canada and the Russian Swimming Federation, almost a second separating the top 3 there. They're after Li Bingji.
Yeah, Li doing enough to lead this heat from start to finish. You can see them over in the middle of the pool. Can Li breathes to her right there and then takes a peek over to the left side. So McIntosh falling back to 3rd. That's not a comfortable place to be. Kopychnikova having a good sprint home. Yeah,
big finish here by Kopychnikova. Lee's going to touch her out though. Kopychnikova 2nd, McIntosh 3rd, and then Egorova. And interested in the times there. 4:01.26 for the winner. 4:01.26. And she wins it by 9/100ths of a second.
Yeah, much quicker heat there in the final heat this morning. 4 swimmers at 4:02 or better. So Siobhan Jorge, she's got plenty of competition on her hands tonight in this final. Impressive heat from Li Bingji. Same as what we saw from her in the 800 meters event. She was comfortable in the heat. She made a big drop in time for finals to dominate that 800 final last night. So I think we're going to see quite a few swimmers go close to that world record tonight. Even though we are on the 4th day of competition, you've got swimmers like Lee and Jorge. They've already got 3 gold medals between them at these world champs, and of course the young Summer McIntosh.
So Li Bingji's time just over 4:01, 4:01.26, taking out the final heat. Kopychnikova, McIntosh and Egorova followed her home. The final looking like this with Li Bingji in lane 4. Kopychnikova will have 5, and they'll be flanked in 3 by McIntosh and Jorge in 6. Egorova, Madden, Gosen, Evans. Caselli not quick enough to make the final with 4:03.84.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting final to watch, with the top 4 there really capable of pushing each other down to an extremely fast time. You've got the speed of someone like Siobhan Jorge mixed in with the endurance prowess of Li Bingji and Summer McIntosh. So there should be a few different race strategies in that one, which will make it close and exciting and lead changing. And potentially they could get close to that world record of Titmus. I'm being optimistic, but I just can't see any other reason why Summer McIntosh wouldn't have raced that 800 final last night.
The 100 metres breaststroke for women. We have the heats here. So 3 times that world record has been set. Alia Atkinson on 2 occasions. The starters in heat 1 of 6 here. Adams and Toure in 4 and 5. Garner as a representative in lane number 1. So the women's 100 metres breaststroke, and Adams it is in lane 4, Turup in lane number 5. No swimmer in 3, but you've got Taki and Minich, and then Kuwaido Patna is the one who's decided not to start down there. Alenka, Smorkalova and Kanati.
Yeah, Alenka, there she is stroking nicely in this first heat of the women's 100 metre breaststroke. Blue cap there, she gets high out of the water in those strokes, pushes off. They're allowed one butterfly kick underwater before they do the pull-out action. And she looks really high in the water, aggressive with those arm strokes to try and push her body forward. And we saw in the sprint breaststroke, the women's 50 on the first day of competition, just how much the technique and the aggression of sprint breaststrokes has gotten. There's a lot more dolphin motion with their hips and sometimes even dolphin motion with their kick, which can get them in trouble with the officials.
27-year-old from Brazil, proving too strong here with a 107.46. Now, they're coming in for second and third, and it's going to be pretty tight down there alongside Alenka was Smorkalova. She gets second, then Minich and Takai third and fourth. Adams in lane number 4, finishing 5th. It's a difficult stroke to master, and these girls from some of the developing countries are learning as they go at the World Championships and watching the stars in action, and they're getting their own times posted here. So Kanati finishes her race, the girl from Mali there in lane number 8. Winning time here for Alenka, 107.46 in heat 1 of 6.
Yeah, diving into the water. It's the Brazilian swimmer on the right of screen. She gets up high out of the water, gets those hands up and over the water. It's easier to move through air than it is through water. So again, they're really aggressive with their arm strokes now, especially in the shorter events. And Alenka taking out the first heat.
And the margin there considerable between first and second. The start list here for heat number 2. Guatemala and Mongolia in the middle lanes. And a nice even start here with Mahajan of Nepal in 0, and then Aloiso, Mithqual. Grand Pierre is from Haiti in lane number 3. Gerardo and Vadino in the middle lanes. Dashti of Kuwait. And then we have Kumuang, Charles and Pina.
Yeah, full heat of swimmers here in heat number 2. The swimmers in the middle of the pool have entry times of around about the 1 minute 14 seconds for these 4 laps of breaststroke, but down there in 7 it's Kwan Muang who's going to lead this one out, the swimmer from Thailand. 33.2. She's built up a slight lead over the swimmers in the middle of the pool. That's Gerardo in the white cap, and below her Vadino in the black cap. So it's a big lead still for Kwan Muang.
Yes, and she's one of the many youngsters in this field, a 16-year-old. In fact, all bar one have been born since, well, you could say since the Sydney Olympics in the 2000s. So forget about the 90s these days, and this youngster is going to record a pretty good time here at the World Championships. Kumang, 1:10.35, taking out heat number 2. Gerardo was second, and Vadino third, followed then by Aloiso.
Yeah, good swim for the 16-year-olds. Kun Wang. Her entry time was 1 minute 17, so she chops 7 seconds off that, which is 7 seconds is about 15 meters or so. So it's a considerable improvement from anything she's ever done before. There's a beautiful training center in Thailand, high performance swim center down there. And I'm sure she's reaping the benefits of that program.
Just waiting on the results, and of course the technical officials will check most things, but particularly when it comes to the breaststroke at the moment at these championships.
Yeah, it's the first FINA World Championships where in fact they can use the underwater cameras to make a live call about any sort of disqualifications. So we saw 13 breaststrokers disqualified on day one of competition here, and they can use those underwater cameras to make a live call on a disqualification or to review a disqualification as well.
And there is indeed a disqualification here. Vadino from Mongolia disqualified. The winning time 1:10.35 in heat 2. The third of 6 heats. Blasevic and Drazadu, lanes 4 and 5. Off the blocks quickly, Koch of Mauritius in lane 0, Santos, Higgs, Delmar. And then we have Blasevic of Croatia, who entry time 107.7, Drazado, Basisto, and then Tuda Cabels and Chenalesova and Funes making up the field. They've completed the first 25, and there's little between lanes 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 not far away. And we watch down there in lane number 8. It is Cheltensiva of Kazakhstan right up there with them.
Yeah, it's tight across the field now. 107 and 108 are the entry times for most of these girls. So we're going to see some more hotly contested racing. And it looks like Higgs from the Bahamas there in the blue cap is leading through the 50 and now the 75. She's swimming well, is the 21-year-old, still with a lead. Here come the middle lanes now.
Blasevic of Croatia finishing hard in the yellow cap, but still Higgs and Blasevic, and lane number 6 as well, Basisto. It's between that trio. The win ends up going the way of Higgs. Higgs over Blasevic and Basisto third. Excellent racing between the top 3 there. Winning time, a 107.87.
Yeah, not much in it at the finish there between Higgs and Blasevic, both swimming 107s. And that's a 2-second personal best time there for Lillian Louise Higgs. She was quick over to the first 2 laps. Not much separated them at the first turn. There it is there at 25 meters, but she really used the back half of the race to build her lead and just hang on. Just 2/100ths of a second separate the 2 women there at the finish.
Yes, it's tight, isn't it? 107.87 and 107.89, 108.22 for third. We move along to the seeded heats now, heat number 4 here. So the Slovakian from 2 is a scratching. It does leave us though with Gorbenko of Israel and Carrara, Escobedo and Renshaw. Some very familiar names in this heat 4. So we watch for Gorbenko. She's in lane number 3 here, the winner of the 50. You also got Carraro, who was the bronze medalist at Gwangju in 2019. She's in lane number 4. And Renshaw as well. She was a finalist in Gwangju.
Yeah, the bigger names coming out now in the first of the seeded heats. Looks like it's Tang at the first wall, the swimmer from China in 8 that was leading. The field's coming back to her now. Fast up there, the Swede in the yellow cap. There she is. She is touching first, 30.5. And Gorbenko below her. Gorbenko just above the yellow lane there from Israel. She was the 50-meter breaststroke champion here a few nights ago. She's also got the 100 IM final tonight. So she'll be no doubt trying to conserve energy to make these semi-finals. But really tight racing Only 16 people are going to qualify for the semi-final, so this finish is going to be really important.
Tang, it is just in front there in lane number 8. Tang's going to get there, but it's right across the pool. Renshaw finishing second, and then it was Fast and Gorbenko. This Tang was our early leader, but it was a very even race, and she was challenged. She was able to respond in the last 25. She wins in 104.94 over Renshaw and then Fast.
Yeah, Tang was quick over the first 25, just faded a little bit and then sprinted well towards the finish to get on the wall first. And it's easily the fastest time of the heats so far. Still 2 seeded heats to go. They're bunched up behind her. There's Tang at the bottom, about half second in front, and everybody else touching it around about those 105. So 105 is probably what is going to be required to come top 16 this morning and make these semis, but Tang with a 104 should be safe as we wait for the results to become official.
Here's another check on the vision. A few more nervous moments for the girls in heat number 4. Looks like the result's not far away, I would imagine. It normally indicates that. In the meantime, we're waiting on heat number 5. Heat number 5 should be interesting, and of course then heat 6. After that, we're going to see the 2 heats we have of the men's 4x200 metres freestyle relay, and the competitors are in the call room right now. So we'll see these swimmers in action, and that will wrap up the morning session. But plenty of swimming to come in the 4x2 freestyle relay. Now let's check on this result from heat number 4. No disqualifications. Tang's result stands. Tang from Renshaw and Fast. Gorbenko 4th. Heat 5. Jacoby not starting. Heat number 5 here, that's a big scratching. Jacoby, the Olympic champion, was listed to start in 2, but she's not there. Castiglione and Chikanova in 4 and 5, and Godin, who's impressed here at the championships. She's the swimmer from the Russian Swimming Federation in 6.
Yeah, a lot of swimmers backing up from that 50-metre breaststroke final a couple of days ago. One of those was Ida Holko from Finland. She's got an early lead here at the 50-metre mark. She was 4th in that 50 breaststroke final, just outside the medals. Below her from Italy, Castiglione. She actually got disqualified in the 50 breaststroke heats along with Alia Atkinson. So Castiglione and Atkinson are our fastest 2 entry times here at these World Championships. So they really want to be careful with their technique and their turns just to bypass the heats here.
So they're not too far away from the finish of this 5th heat, and in lane number 3, Holker, I should say, Castiglione in the black cap, trying to close the gap. She is closing it, but not fast enough. Holko, Castiglione and Chikanova, 1, 2, 3 in heat number 5. Winning time here, a 105.01.
Yeah, almost a personal best time in the heats this morning for Ida Holko. So she's having a really good meet. The 23-year-old from Finland, getting more and more experience in finals and semi-finals at a world championship level. Castiglione was coming to her towards the touch. There they are on the left. Castiglione in the black cap. She's got a personal best time down in the 103, so she's going to be dangerous come semi and final time if she gets through safely this morning. But it is Ida Holko taking out heat number 5.
We do believe she has, as we await the result. So nothing is certain until it's been posted. This hasn't been unusual here at the World Championships, and on most occasions it comes up all clear, but they are checking just to be certain. Heat number 5, the girls await the result. Heat 6 still to come. It'll feature Alia Atkinson, Mona McSharry, also Sophie Hansen.
They've told the swimmers in the last heat just to sit down and relax as they keep reviewing the results in heat number 5. And we're just waiting for those to become official. Some shots of the crowd here. The athletes section there. Everybody having a really good time in Etihad Arena. One of the most spectacular aquatic centres or swimming, temporary swimming pools to host the World Championships that we've ever seen. We quite often see them now, the short course World Championships. The pools are inside multi-purpose stadiums like this one, which really creates an electric atmosphere come finals time with the crowd so close to the action. All right, wow, a bit of action here. 2 disqualifications. Hulko and Castiglione, first and second in that heat, have been disqualified. Chickenova and Godin will move through. Well, that's going to throw a spanner in the mix come finals time. Here's the last heat. Atkinson and Jefimova in 4 and 5. And they're off in the last heat. We've got Atkinson in the middle of the pool. Again, she was disqualified in the 50, like Castiglione was, and Castiglione's just got disqualified again, so she'll want to be careful, Alia Atkinson. And down there in 6th, the yellow cap of the Swedish swimmer is Sophie Hansen. She's already got a gold and a bronze medal here at these World Championships. She's been extremely busy in individual and relay events, and she's taken this one out fast, is Hansen. Touching at the 50. No, it's actually McSharry who gets her hands on the wall first. 30.48. The swimmer from Ireland with a narrow lead. Atkinson there in the left of the yellow lane, starting to move through. She's the world record holder, Atkinson, so we expect a good showing from her this morning. But Hansen and McSharry lead this one through the 75.
Really good race, this one. The final heat. And it is tight there between that pair. It's going to be taken out by Hansen. Hansen from McSharry. Atkinson was in 3rd placing. Now, the times are going to be interesting. The top 3 should certainly go through to the top 16, no doubt about that. But we await the accumulation of the times here. Winning time for Hansen, 104.5, as we have another look at them off the blocks and into this final heat.
Well, the waiting game's almost as exciting as the swimming here in the women's breaststroke heats. But that was a quick time from Sophie Hansen. She got away to an early lead. She's got that speed after winning bronze in the 50 breast a few nights ago. She was able to hold that all the way to the finish. And she takes that one just ahead of McSharry. They're the fastest 2 times that we saw this morning down into the 104s. So I expect something around the 105s to qualify through. Everybody safe in heat number 6. Hansen, McSharry and Atkinson, the top 3 place getters there.
That is indeed good news, because it means that once we get to the semi-finals, it is going to be very exciting. Hansen, quickest to go through. McSharry, Atkinson, Tang, Renshaw, all making it through. Gorbenko, she is in position 9. Krundle with a time of 106.33, so she gets the last spot in the semi-finals. And Shmushka unable to go through with a 106.41, but if there is a withdrawal, she'll be the first one in.
Yeah, the big news this morning was the disqualification again of Castiglione, the highly touted Italian swimmer, and Ida Hulko as well, both from that 5th heat, disqualified from the officials. So the breaststrokers really under a lot of pressure here with the introduction of the underwater cameras, and some big names are feeling the heat there. So we move into the last heat, the last event of the morning, sorry, the men's 4x200 meters freestyle relay,
where Brazil hold the world record at 6:46.81. Brazil will have a team here in lane number 3. Norway, Hong Kong, Brazil, the Russian Swimming Federation, Italy, and Vietnam. So 2 heats, top 8 times qualify to swim for gold, silver and bronze. So away they go, the first of 2 heats, the men's 4x2 freestyle relay. You've got Norway in 1. Now they're led off by Havas. Hong Kong, Chuk leads them off in lane number 2. Brazil led off by Carrera in 3. The Russian Swimming Federation quartet in lane number 4. And we have Snigarev, our first leg swimmer, Italy with Rossetti. And then we go down to Vietnam with Pam. In fact, leading them at the moment in this first leg, 200 metres for each of them. It would be in lane number 5 there, Italy, Rossetti. Rossetti in lane 3. You've got Brazil holding down second. Norway right up there in lane number 4 as well. It's the Russian Swimming Federation who will be strengthened tonight, assuming they get through to the final, because they've got some big names still to come in. Lane number 5 it is, the Italians, Megli, De Tullio and Lamberti still to swim their legs. And it's the Italians in front. Lane number 3, Brazil's through Carrera, giving them a good start. They're right up there with the leaders at this stage as we go through the 150 metre mark. And then the swimmers, the second leg swimmers getting up onto the blocks there. Just checking on that lead there. Brazil in front from Italy, the Russian Swimming Federation, Norway, Hong Kong and then Vietnam as we head down towards the first of the handovers.
Yeah, really good lead-off swim by Alberto Rossetti in the black cap. Just matched there by the Brazilian team. That's Correa. Let's see what times they come in. 1:43.01. It's a solid lead-off swim, especially in the heats. Correa was in that Brazilian team that broke the world record 3 years ago, but already we see the Italians take over on this second leg.
So the second leg swimmers have completed their first 50. They go through the 250 with Italy leading the Russian Swimming Federation, lanes 5 from 4. Then it's Brazil in lane number 3 who have Seton Satori swimming that second leg.
Yeah, there's a clear cut, 4 teams ahead right now in this depleted heat number 1. There's 2 heats to come this morning and obviously 8 teams move through to the final. So the top 4, you would think, from both heats should move through, depending on times. And these bigger teams, these stronger teams from Italy and the Russian Swimming Federation know that they just need to be first or second to move safely through.
It's just looking at looking ahead to what is in store for the next heat. We have Turkey, China, the USA, Ireland and Kuwait. So you would imagine certainly the USA bar disqualifications would go through, and probably China and Turkey as well. So there's a real chance for some of these countries who wouldn't normally make finals, relay finals at World Championships, to get a spot in the final here, because there aren't too many starting teams.
Yeah, definitely. That's what especially these short course World Championships are really good for, is these developing countries to get valuable experience at the top level. As we see Megli come through to touch, still in first for the Italian team, but they're pretty bunched up with Brazil and the Russian Swimming Federation. Just looking at those splits there, Megli was a 1:43, as was Seton Satori for Brazil and Girev for the Russian Swimming Federation. But it all changes again as the third leg swimmers are in the water.
And little separating lanes 5 from 3 and 4. As far as the Italians are concerned, Marco De Tullio swimming this leg. It's Alves of Brazil, and also Shatilov from the Russian Swimming Federation. So they're the top 3. There's a little bit of a gap there to Norway, who are in lane number 1, and then of course Vietnam in 7.
Yeah, wow, they're really swimming off each other, are the teams, the three teams in the middle of the pool. Evenly split so far. They're turning there just halfway through their leg, sorry. And as you mentioned, it is a bit of a depleted field that the Great Britain men are not fielding a team in the next heat, and obviously the Australian team isn't here either. So Great Britain and Australia were gold and bronze at the Olympic Games this summer. So we're lacking some of the bigger superstar nations, but the world record holders are Brazil. They're turning first here at the 550-meter mark. That's Alves doing a really good job. Shatilov from the Russian Swimming Federation in the middle. And, of course, the experience of Marco Di Tullio. Di Tullio coming through now across the finish.
Looks like Di Tullio might almost give them the lead, but Brazil there. Now, who leads it officially? It's Brazil over Italy and the Russian Swimming Federation. There's 200 metres to go, and the last leg swimmers are in the water there. Christensen is just completing his leg there for Norway, so they're holding down fourth, and Vietnam is the other team here. But a really good race in the middle of the pool.
Yeah, it's a good race, and Norway aren't too far away either in lane number one, so times are important for them if they want to scrape through to the final. The Italian team dropping back here. That's Lamberti in the water. We haven't seen him too much this week in the freestyle races, but Veko Vishev from the Russian Swimming Federation, he's been on international relay teams for the last couple of years, and he's got a lot of speed in the shorter freestyle races and across butterfly as well. Look at him there underwater with those powerful underwater kicks. They can't match Veko Vishev.
So it's still the Russian Swimming Federation over Brazil, Italy. We've got Norway fourth, and a good race being swum by Hong Kong, who we haven't paid a lot of attention to, but they are just behind the Norwegians, swimming out of lane number 2.
Yeah, out in front is the Russian Swimming Federation now with 50 metres to go. We'll see if Veko Vishev wants to switch off, but he's not. He's still kicking really hard. What often happens in some of these more powerful swimming teams is they do have to post a time in the heats if they want to be part of the finals team. So Veko Vishev hasn't eased off at all. He's really sprinting home towards the touch.
Well, let's have a look at them as they go into the finish here. And it is a time here of 6:54.83. The Russian Swimming Federation over Italy, and then Brazil, Norway, and then we have Hong Kong and Vietnam. Vietnam and Hong Kong still swimming their races, but we've got 4 to finish, and well, I'm sure all 4, assuming they get the green light, will go through to the final.
Yes, assuming that everything was safe in their relay changeovers and freestyle technique without any disqualifications, they should move through. Norway did a good job for 4th place there in 7:01, averaging about 1:45 across their 4 swimmers, and Vietnam touching there for 6th place in the first heat.
So we complete or rather heat number 1, I should say. Heat number 1, and 1 heat remaining to complete the program and to work out exactly which teams will contest the medals in the final of the men's 4x2 freestyle relay. There we have the result of heat 1. The margin around 1.7 seconds between first and second. The starters in heat number 2. The United States in lane 5. Now, Great Britain won't be starting. They're listed there in 4, but I think we'll find there'll be no Great Britain, no Bulgaria. And that's who we're left with. So the final heat here of the 4x2 freestyle relay. No Great Britain, no Bulgaria. So that lane number 4 should have been the host of Great Britain, but that's empty. Turkey in 2, they're led off by Unlo. China in lane number 3. Hong has the first leg here. The United States in 5, led off by Trenton Julian, Tapp, Harting and Foster to follow. Ireland have Jack McMillan to be followed by Power, McGeever and Sloan. And Kuwait in lane number 7, Abdul Razak swimming the first leg here.
Yeah, 5 teams lining up for this last heat, and just looking at the times from heat number 1, I think the first 4 teams in this heat should move through. So be interesting to see what countries can get the job done this morning, but it's Jack McMillan leading it out nicely. He had a couple of good swims earlier this week, did the young Irishman, and he's got a really nice long loping freestyle stroke. Breathes really low in the water, so it swims quite efficiently. It's actually almost identical to Michael Phelps' freestyle stroke. That might look familiar to a couple of people watching on at home. But it's Ireland ahead of the United States. Julian in the water. He was 4th in the 200 fly a couple of days ago. We haven't normally seen him swim too many freestyle races, but he's going to step up and lead this United States team off.
So they have just about completed their first leg here. And in lane number 6, Ireland over the United States. So into the water now for Ireland. It's Robert Powell for the USA, Hunter Tapp. Holding down 3rd, China from Turkey. China with Pan, Turkey with Turan.
Yeah, good lead off there from McMillan. 142.9 is very quick indeed. It would have actually almost qualified him for the individual 200 freestyle final. But in the water now, it's his teammate Powell ahead of Hunter Tapp from the United States. Tapp, better known as a sprinter. He's a big boy, must be 6'7" or 6'8". We saw him on the podium a few days ago, just towering over everybody else around him. But he's letting Powell get away. Ireland's looking good here, getting out to a nice lead. This will be pretty historic if Ireland can win this heat and make a World Championship final, but still plenty of swimming left to be swum in Heat 2.
They've gone through the 300-metre mark, and Ireland with this very good break. Of course, plenty of changes will be made by the time the final comes around, but nonetheless, Ireland putting in a wonderful performance here. And they're clearly doing something very right with their swimming program. They had a good Olympic Games, some good results there. We've seen Ellen Walsh and McMillan and a whole lot of other names that keep reappearing in the events here in Abu Dhabi and putting in excellent performances. So Ireland concentrating on their swimming program, and they're getting the results.
Yeah, certainly. They've got John Rudd there as technical director, and he was the age group coach of people like Ben Proud and Ruta Meliutite, the Lithuanian breaststroke world record holder. So his expertise definitely starting to come through. But China come through late on that second leg to take over. That was a really good split from Pan, 144.6. He hands over to Zhang in the water now for the Chinese team. Hunter Tapp there for the Americans, all the way back in a 147 split. And Powell really died off as well, matching in a 147 split. So the teams, they'll look different tonight if they're all there, but it's starting to develop into a pretty interesting race this morning nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a real change when China took over the lead, but Ireland's kicked again through Finn McKeever. He's swimming the 3rd leg, and as far as the United States is concerned, Zach Harting, but the USA are back in 3rd. It's Ireland in front with China 2nd. The USA swimming 3rd at the moment. 4th, as we have a look at the margin, half a second separating them. Turkey in 4th, and then Kuwait in 5th place.
Yeah, we'll see what Harding can do for the US. He's way back there in 3rd. The US do not like to get beaten in relays, whether it's heats or finals. They've still got Carson Foster to come on the last leg, and I think he'll be trying to produce a really strong time to put his name in for the finals team. But it's still Ireland ahead of China. The United States 2.5 seconds back, but I won't be writing them off just yet.
No, they've got one leg still remaining. As we've gone through 5:75, they'll come back down the pool here, and we'll get to the last leg swimmers. And the three teams almost lined up across the pool now. China in front as we have a look at the last leg swimmers into the water. China it is from Ireland, the USA, and then in fourth place it would be Turkey and Kuwait. The last leg swimmers here for China, it's Chen. Ireland have Sloan and Foster for the United States.
Yeah, that's it. Carson Foster in the water. Silver medalist in the 200 IM on night one of competition here. And he's really strong in the 400 IM as well. So we'll see what Foster can produce, but it's a big lead from China. 3.5 seconds over the US. He's extended that lead out, has Chen. We haven't seen too much of him in competition at these World Champs. He might only be here to swim on relays for the Chinese men's team, but he looks really strong across that first 100.
He's one of their emerging stars. He's only 17 years of age, is Chen of China. And they've gone through the 700-metre mark. The margin just over 2 seconds now over Ireland and the USA in third.
He's gone out real fast as Chen, 49.3 at the 100-metre split. It's absolutely flying, especially when you're only 17 years of age. So we'll see if he pays for it and comes back to the field. Ireland coming through, that's Jordan Sloan having a strong swim, but Foster can't make up any ground on him. It's China and Ireland in heat number 2.
That's the order they're likely to finish unless the United States can do something special here in the closing stages. And I must say Foster is closing the gap on Sloan, but it's all China. Now, China, it's going to be a bit of a battle for second. It should be Ireland second over the USA, and it looks as if that's probably the way it'll finish. China taking it out. Ireland only just holding out the United States in the battle for second. So the USA third, and it looks like it's going to be Turkey fourth, and then still to complete, it will be the team from Kuwait.
Yeah, we watch for the Kuwait team to finish off this relay. They've had a pretty strong showing at these World Championships, competing in plenty of races across the first 4 days of competition. And as we mentioned, a few missing teams here. Kuwait touching in 5th in that last heat is a great result.
So that's where it all started. And from the outset, it was that big three teams, Ireland leading for much of the race. They'll have a good lane in the final. In fact, they just looks like they've got the 6th fastest time in the end, so I guess they won't be fussed about where they start. Ireland, the USA, China, of course the Russian Swimming Federation, Italy, Brazil. It shapes as a good final.
Yeah, it should be good. That was impressive from China. Chen at the end split 144.7. He's going to be one to watch, the 17-year-old. So China there in 7 minutes, 0.19. Ireland and the United States with 7:02s.
So that's the lineup for the finals with the Russian Swimming Federation. The fastest qualifying time, Italy, Brazil, China, Norway, Ireland, the USA 7th and Turkey 8th. Hong Kong, Kuwait and Vietnam unable to progress. So that wraps up the swimming here on day 4 of competition. And this is what's ahead of us this evening. We've got 8 finals. We've got semi-finals in 3 events. We'll kick off with that freestyle final for men, the 4x50, and the women's 50 metres butterfly, the first of the individual events. But a really busy program and victory ceremonies along the way there as well. Yes, the men's 4x2 freestyle relay will be the last of the swimming events this evening on day 4 here in Abu Dhabi.
We saw more sprint action in the pool on the 4th morning of heats here at the World Championships in Abu Dhabi. The men's 4x50 metres freestyle relay, the splash and dash across 4 men from each country. with the Italian team moving through as the fastest qualifiers. The women's 50 backstroke was exciting, as it always is, as world record holder Kira Toussaint got the job done. The men's 50 fly, the women's 400 freestyle, and of course we just saw the men's 4x200 freestyle relay. Diving in there for the men's 50 fly were the competitors. It was a strong showing from all of the early heats. Lots of personal times getting performed in the water this morning. And of course the stars were back in action, closely finishing in their race towards semi-final positions.
More exciting racing on this Sunday morning in Abu Dhabi. We've got the finals coming up tonight. Join us then.
Sorry, I thought you said rap.